Hey guys, it's Avenger, welcome back to the channel, and we're off on a bit of an adventure today. A very windy adventure. It's gonna be spicy. The winds are swinging right now, and I'm nervous because, yeah, my tail's sticking out. Don't worry about these little things, they don't matter. Not really. Yeah, so we're looking at, oh, it's swinging now, because it's 275 at 20, and it was, when I got my METAR data, 19 at 029. So, this is a problem. Either way. We're flying up to Taku Glacier cabin, which is a US Forestry Service Juno cabin. We're taking off from 7 Alpha Kilo 2, which is Snettisham, up here in Alaska, and we're taking the Beaver out. We've got to get this thing cranked, and I'll do this while we talk, because today's going to be spicy with these winds. Really, really spicy. Let's leave those off for the time being. Let's make sure that is cut. Let's make sure that is back. Make sure that is forward. Let's get this turned off. Let's make sure we are set to our front tank here for takeoff. We'll close the oil filter cap. Batteries are on. Boost pump is on. Dually has fuel flow. I'm having a brain moment. Do need to give it a wobble pump or two to get some fuel pressure in there, though. Let's make sure we actually have some primer shots. 3 should do us just fine. And the door's closed. That's a new trick. We'll find out how that works. Oh, it's opening again. Wonderful. I have to time my exit. It's like Indiana Jones, but with an aeroplane. So, mixture on. No, we set the max off first. Starter. Did it stay started? Oh, it did. It's extremely quiet today. I'm not sure why it's so quiet, but we're going to find this out. Huh, that is really weird. Either way, right, let's get ourselves ready to go. Everything else looks to be about right in terms of our settings. We're on 122.1200. That is correct. Electronics coming on here. We're heating up everything. That's coming up. Those are in range. Of course, it's not default system, so that will happen. Now what do we need here? We're all good with everything else we've got set up here. Those are good. These are going to give us our directions. We'll be heading through the mountains, which with this wind will make it quite interesting. Do we want a canoe? We want a canoe. Canoes are fun. We like canoes. Oh, we're going to have to time this bloody exit from this hangar. Right, let's hope we can wait for it to open like Indiana Jones, escaping from Temple of Doom. It's probably something that actually opens this. I don't know what it is, though. It would be very weird if I actually knew what it was. But it opened a second ago, so... Nope, not doing that. So while I remember to turn my head on... Oh, we're going. Charge! Out we get. Okay, so we need to go in this direction. We'll taxi out and we'll get a good headwind for our departure here. So it is turned on. We'll back taxi and get ready for takeoff. Make sure my head does switch itself on. Let's see how useful it is on and good to go. Okay. So, windy but headwindy right now, but it is swinging, so we need to be aware of that much at least. It's going to be like maybe a 20-minute journey, maybe a little bit longer through the mountains to get here, but we should be just about okay. And yeah, we're looking at almost a direct headwind for departure. Now, Snettisham's an add-on scenery. It's quite a nice little add-on scenery, actually, in fact. Once we get to the end of the runway, I'll give you a quick look around before we go. You get to enjoy this one, but it is rather nice. So, set flaps for takeoff. And we'll get down the end here, we'll get ourselves turned around, and we shall wait and see. But the winds are rather strong. They're on the borderline for max demonstrated of what we're operating here, so we'll need to be cautious, and we'll definitely need to be extra cautious in the water when we're landing, because we are landing in the water. So that'll make things el spicio, as they say in certain places. I don't think that's even a word, but we'll pretend it is. Is that a shipwreck? That's a shipwreck. That's cool. And it's already swung. So we're going to play this by ear. And that water is choppy. Look at that. Come on, turn a little quicker, please, rather than take us off the edge of the runway. Yeah, swinging to the right a little bit here, so we should be okay. Okay, right. Whilst we do this, let's go have a quick look around. Ooh, where's that boat? There's the boat. Aha! There's a bit of a delineation in the water markings. That's kind of neat. Like you'll notice here, there's a bit of a delineation in the water surface, or there was one last time I checked. Now it looks to be... Oh, there it is, right there. You see how the shore kind of runs alongside here, and you get cut off where the marshes and wetlands are there. Otherwise, it's a gorgeous little airport and a really pretty place. I'll link to this in the description for you, of course. And maybe there's some conflict on top of this. I don't think there is, though. But we've got the hydro. Oh, it could well be the hydro thing and this is conflicting. Entirely possible, but either way. Really pretty, and it's quite nice weather. So let's get ourselves going here. Less faffing around. So a little bit of awareness, but a slight crosswind there. We've got smoke blowing in a different direction, almost parallel to the runway on that side. So a little bit of rudder should keep us in line. A little bit of aileron there as it starts to pick itself up. And we're already airborne. So gears coming up. Flaps are coming up. And we will power out of here, no problemo. As I say in the biz. Alright, so we're basically on course. We're going to be heading through the mountains, so we'll do a little climbing first. Get ourselves settled into a good valley. We'll have to be a little bit aware of that today. We shouldn't be getting too much altitude, but we will need to be concerned about dead-end valleys. Finding our way through here. It's not an area I've flown. This is just south of Juneau, so it's not particularly an area I'm super familiar with. So I'm going off what charts I have and what imagery I can glean. Should be swinging across here. We'll pull our stuff back a little bit here. We'll drop ourselves into a comfortable range for operating. And we should be good. In fact, where's my yoke? I need to put that back on. I started reading a novel today. Explicitly because it had a beaver on it. And I'm definitely picking up a Nora Roberts novel a friend recommended to me. She's a romance writer. Don't worry. The other one's a romance too, but you know, it's set in Canada. It had a beaver on the cover. Nothing to do with beavers, but I bought it because of the cover. But I am picking up Nora Roberts' romance very soon. I've just been told about this book because it's about smoke jumpers, which is not aviation related directly, but it is because smoke jumpers. I do love aerial firefighting. I love anything aviation, but I do love a good romance as well. So always a good combo. Okay, so we're in pretty rugged mountainous terrain around here. We've got the lake below us, and we should be able to head up here to our left, then tuck around to the right, and we should be good. Now, our airspeed is not wonderful with the winds as they are, but we're not doing too badly, so we should be just fine. Saying we're 8 minutes out, which is a definite lie, but we'll do our best to make this as reasonably possible as we can. Definitely going to be worrying about the lake, because the lake is fixed direction. It's north-south, well, the inlet, I should say, because it's on the main waterway rather than being an isolated lake. The one we were going to was an east-west lake, which would have been problematic in these conditions. Landing with a crosswind on water is a really perilous option. Something you want to avoid when you can. And it's going to be very bright in a second come around this corner. Notice my engine sounds in this sim have really changed a little bit recently. I'm not sure why, it's quite strange. But we always try to work out what's going on with that. I do apologise for no video on Thursday last week because I was incredibly sick. I'd recorded the Tuesday video on the Sunday along with content from my other channel, knowing very well I was likely to be bedridden the next day. I was, and Thursday rolled around and I was not in a fit state to do anything. So unfortunately there's no video on Thursday, which I'm very sorry about. We did get the review of the Real Air, not Real Air, sorry, I want to think the Real Air SF260, but it wasn't, it was the Sim Skunkworks one, and I got that out for Tuesday, and I'm making sure I give you your Thursday video this week. Doing my best with this here. I'm hoping to be making some big changes for the channel coming forwards. in the near future. Can't really talk about too much of what that is, but you guys will hopefully like it. That's the goal. So we've got a triple head here of kind of dead-end options. We have the left, which is actually opens out towards the sea. That's a closed valley there. And what we need to do is start climbing here and try and hook around to the right. So we'll do a little bit of climb. We'll probably try and let it settle down around. We'll pick up some real ground speed here, so we've actually taken advantage of this. The winds behind us will help lift us. There'll be updrafts on this face, which will be useful. So we'll ride this up as it starts to come towards the mountainside. Should let us get up here and hook around and clear this lake. Looking at the GPS screen, I can see there's a lake directly ahead of me here, so it should be to the right here along what we're dealing with right now. Airspeed is still solid. Just got to be aware of what we're doing. I'm going to tuck it over to the left of the glacier here. I want room to turn around if I have to. I've done this a little bit late, unfortunately. I'll let my turn run me wide, but I've got plenty of altitude. The updrafts are definitely helping us today. Right, we're passing through 4,000. Little nudge off the mixture here. Making sure my engine's happy. That seems about right there. I don't tend to go off a... Whoa, hello. That's not good. Nope. I felt myself sinking. And I had to turn away immediately. I knew that wasn't going to work out. Oh, big downdraft. Something shifted in the winds. That was not pleasant, and we nearly put ourselves on a mountainside. Which, it's snow. We probably could have touched down with the skis and the floats, so it'd been just fine. This'll do. This gets us across nicely. Whoa, sinking hard. Come on. That's it. Come on. Give me some airspeed, please. Oh, boy. We're in treacherous windy conditions up here, and it is really hurting us. Watch the VSI moving there. Whoa! Look at that drop. We're catching big downdrafts here. I'm going to have to circle and try and hope I can pick up some lift to get me over that ridgeline, but this is not pleasant in any way, shape or form. We could be in major trouble. See, I'm gaining airspeed here, but I'm climbing also like a rocket. So I'm going to stay along this side, which will give... Look at... Boom! Look at us jumping up here. See, we're catching the updrafts on this side. That side's kicking our ass, so we need to have altitude to clear that, to be clear of the drafts, downdrafts, sorry. And then we should be good. If I stay to this side, look at us, we're like a rocket ship here. We're just going up, up, up. Riding those waves. Riding that wind. So that's what caught me, because we were on the right side of the valley, or the left side of the valley here, and we were able to have good climb rate. And then we started to turn towards the plateau of the glacier there, and it just sucked us down. So it's something you have to be very aware of in these environments. If you don't have a ton of power to overcome it, you will get bitten. We should be high enough now to make it across here with no major drama. So we'll let the nose down. A little bit of trim just to straighten us out. Nicely done. There we go. And we are clear with no problems down there. Okay, wonderful. Mountain flying is even worse when you've got a big draggy float plane like this. You'll say, why don't I spend more time in the exterior view on these flights? I would, but, you know, most of the flying's in the cockpit is where you need to be, so it kind of makes the most sense. Minute technical difficulties there. Plug my headphones in, so I cut that out of the video. None of you wants to see that. Right, where are we on track? We need to be heading north again here, so just roll on course. And we should be able to drop down a little bit here with the terrain being more improved. So we'll pull our power out here a little bit. Let the engine rest after it's been running pretty hard there. And we can see the inlet off to our left ahead of us. So we'll be tucking our left here at the lake, or the inlet at this portion. This should be a lake as far as I'm aware. There's 2 cabins on this lake from the Return to Misty Moorings pack, which I always recommend. Return to Misty Moorings. Fantastic seaplane scenery and cabins all over this part of Alaska. The Tongass kind of fjords area. Actually, that's not it now, is it? Am I thinking the right one, the Tongass fjords? It might be. It's a little bit confusing sometimes. You got the Pacific fjords and the Tongass fjords. Yeah, that does seem right. Okay, speed is good. Can afford to drop down a little bit here. Now we can drop, I think, to our left. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll cut out towards the ocean and follow the ridgeline along the mountains, rather than cutting down this valley ahead of us, which is straighter, but there's really no benefit because we're going to be dropping our altitude anyway, so it makes more sense. I do probably sound a little bit rough still. I still have a pretty bad cough. This one's kicked my butt. It's just been flu, not been, you know, the beer syndrome. It's just been flu, a really bad flu, and I haven't had one in 6 years, so I guess I was overdue. Still catching some uplift and updraft. I'm really trying to push the nose down here to get us to start sinking. Pull the power out. And we should be okay. I love being up here. This is one of my favourite parts of the world. Yep, there we go. There's the land bridge at the end there. Whoa! Catching something there. The wind is very, very, very turbulent. But I love the environment here. It's long been my flight sim home, and I've flown all around these parts. Some less than others, like this one I've not flown really directly, but with the greater availability of... Jesus, no. Come back. Hold on, bloody back here on the stick to try and get myself straight and level, but we're still sinking. Come on, let's clear these mountains. I can drop down a bit. No, it's always been a part of the world I absolutely love. The scenery is so desolate and so remote. Visiting these little places only connected by boat or by airplane. It feels idyllic. It feels natural. There's something romantic about it. In fact, something really, truly different. And I like it. I feel special. Right, we should be coming out shortly. So let's just drop down a bit more and get into some, hopefully, more stable air once we're out of the mountains, because this has been really, really bustly in the bad way. I mean, we nearly died on that glacier up there, so we got lucky, and there's a different glacier up there. That is the Taku Glacier up ahead of us, which means the cabin should be pretty close. In fact, it's there on our screen now. Yeah, we're just up there. So the glacier itself starts actually roughly sooner than that. That's all glacier, that's not water like the map there shows. Center on the aircraft. Yeah, we're passing over one of the lodges below us, but I'll just pause our queue. Oh god. Can we see it down there? We can! Look. Not much, but it's something. And there's another one at the other end of the lake over there somewhere, which lets us do that. I'm just going to do that for future when I will show people things. I'll just pause. It makes so much more sense. But no. Simple sceneries, but it gives you a reason to fly there. It gives you POIs. It gives you usually a parking spot too. Oh, we're catching a big sink again. This could be a problem on landing. We have to be very careful here. I don't know what the winds currently are. Have they changed again on me? Ugh. There's a problem. And there's no way to get a METAR out here. I have to play this by ear and see what we can do with this. Because last reckoning the winds were 275 at 20. Which doesn't really track with what we're doing right now, because we're running on a relatively low power. And we're still picking up just shy of 100 knots. So I have reason to believe I'm running a tailwind, so if I land to the south, we should be in the best condition. The waves in MSFS have never been the best judge of wind direction or power. You can usually tell when they're getting spicy, but I'm thinking we're rocking a tailwind right now. And I'm feeling it's almost mostly north-south, which does work for us. Okay, that'll be up on that headland ahead of, around that corner maybe? Yeah, looking like it's just ahead of that corner there. Should do us just fine. This is another thing I love about the sim, that we can get into these conditions, and there's a good chance you'll have more knowledge of the weather conditions in real life. You will have been more planning. You have more data available. Although in many cases, I might just be radioing people at the cabin and asking them where the wind is and what it's doing. Because in these remote places, you don't always have weather systems, and ATIS is not always available. So there's a real natural kind of feeling to all of this, that you're really in something a lot more untamed. Still sinking heavily. Okay. Inlet over there. Taku cabin should be up here in front of us. On the right ahead. We will find it, and yeah. Looking at the waves, they look to be north-south. They do seem to follow, you know, convention in the sim. Where are you? Is that it over there? Should be coming to it. Yep, there we go, the cabin and the jetty. Okay. Ah, that wind is blowing. Is that directional? I should be landing to the north then. But the waves seem to say the south. It's really hard to tell. I'm indicating about 90 knots and I'm getting ground speed of 80, so it feels like I'm running a tailwind, but not. We'll see what we get when we turn around and point south and see what it tells me. I'll match my ground speed to my indicated airspeed. Right, this will be one of the opposite landing directions, so I'm looking right now. I'm indicating 90. I'm getting 95. That's very contrary to the smoke blowing there. Okay, we're borderline 95, and we're still putting about 95 out, so this feels kind of... This is lying to me. My ground speed and my indicator shouldn't be the same if I've got a head or tailwind. It should be lower or higher. That is weird. This is confusing, but I'll go off the smoke because it seems to make the most sense. We've got some white caps down there, but they don't seem to be too... They seem to be going south. They seem to be moving south. If there's any way I can even rely on those as information, they do seem to be going north to south. So we'll rely on that. Alright, so prop full forward, mixture full forward. I'm going to put a notch of flaps in here. I'm going to confirm my landing gear is up. I'm going to confirm my water rudder's up. It is. Okay. We are configured. Start turning around here. Now let's see if we make a hash of this. Hopefully not. This is going to go so wrong. Potentially. Yeah, those caps do seem to be moving to the south. Okay. Set up for our first approach. We'll see how this feels. There's a little inlet, and we'll basically run along. This is our base leg, and then we'll turn for final once we're kind of level with that inlet off the coast, and we should be good. I like talking through these stages of things because this way you can see what I'm thinking. You can understand my logic with what I'm doing, and hopefully make some sense out of the crazy stupid lady doing this with an airplane. Because without someone on the ground to actually give me factual information, this would be really peeing in the wind. Although you could tell a lot more in real life. You could look at the water and see what it's doing. You could look at the direction and the sea state. Now the white caps are not a good idea. They can be a bit much. That could indicate really choppy water, which is not great for a float plane. But when it comes to direction, you can always tell the direction looking at the waves. Okay. looking ready for our turn, and we can see where we're heading for. I'm going to put us along the coastline once we get here, so I'm going to just head over these trees and I'll turn to run parallel to the coast. Actually, no, I need to turn in here. Flaps to landing. Okay, I'm going to center us on where I think the cabin is. And that's my reference point here. I've got no drift off my heading, so we seem pretty centered, which would match with what the smoke on the chimney was doing. Let's bring her down nice and gentle. Nice and gentle. Let's drop her down. Nice and easy. Those waves are looking pretty spicy, actually, the closer we get to them. Okay, looking good, looking good, looking good. Hold the nose up. Power to kind of reduce my rate. Okay. That was a really gentle landing. I think we got the wind prediction right. Okay, so stick full aft. Keep the bows or the tips from ploughing. We should be able to taxi towards the cabin. See, the wind's changed already. Look at that. The wind's already putting out to the west, or coming from the east off the hills. Looking at this, and this is really pretty frothy down here. Keep the nose up there. Try and moor this thing remotely appropriately. And we'll need to have that back on again. Hey, kitty cat, by the way. Haven't mentioned you so far today. Alright, there's the jetty. Avoid a bit of headland. I don't know what we're delivering or we're picking up. Maybe it's some forestry service workers, or maybe it's delivering groceries, but try and slow us down a touch here. There we go. It's going to be hard to predict my approach angle from the passenger side. But it'll help him get the canoe off it if I do this, so... No, that's not what I told you to do. I told you to leave the door open. Okay, let's nose in here. Oh, we definitely get wind. Should actually be just about enough here to get us into the right spot. Cut the prop. And we anchor. Which, if I take a look on the outside... Oh god, when my camera is behaving itself. You know what? I will call that acceptable. We'd have bumped the float tip and we'd have probably straightened up or jumped ahead with the line. So it'd be okay. But we're close enough that I can call that docked within a reasonable kind of approach speed. But we've got a little canoe there. Little cabin, a couple of ATVs. Fire pit. That's a nice little spot to stay. Huh. That was a jolly good little trip. Some very treacherous winds and some decision making in terms of how we were making a landing and our approach. Shifting winds making that very, very difficult, especially in remote areas where you really are limited in terms of what data you can get hold of and how quickly you can get relevant data. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully you had a good time. I will see you all very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.